Oh, hi there. Welcome to this edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Seems you kind of caught me there drinking water. And that's about what this edition is all about. It's about the water system in Flint, Michigan, and the problems that those residents are having there with not only the filthy water, but the legal system which has prohibited them from getting clean, fresh drinking water. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and we're going to be jumping into this pool right now. It seems that Governor Schneider appointed some non-elected official to oversee things financially there in Flint, Michigan. And what he did is he took the pure drinking water from Michigan and switched Flint off into the filthy Flint River. And that water is full of lead and toxins and all kinds of nasty things that are creeping down into the residents therein. Children are becoming forgetful. There's high levels and high contents of lead in the bloodstream, and it's causing developmental problems and a lot of illnesses, rashes and lesions on the skin, the loss of hair, eyesight is being impaired. A lot of just horrible things are going on there in Flint and in my birth state, home state of Michigan. And it really infuriates me to think that this governor knew for a certainty and for a certainty of time that this was going on and stood idly by and did nothing. My God. Who the hell are we electing to public office? As I alluded to in another show, who speaks for us? Who thinks for us? Who cares about us? Nobody, obviously, is at the helm, either in local, state, or federal government. We are indeed a ship in a vast sea with no rudder, no captain. We're just floating around. It seems that the political system there, the judicial system there in Michigan is so corrupt that people from Virginia Tech had to come and test these waters and so they could get an honest and fair and legitimate study of how detrimental this water really is. Thank goodness for the little mayor that they have there in Flint. She, was like a little pit bull. She's barking and screaming and chewing up everything, trying to get some attention to this very dangerous problem, this very lethal problem. I mean, is this America? I mean, when I heard this story when it first broke, it was kind of hard to believe. But as they got further into it and more detailed, my blood began to boil. I said, where the hell are we? Are we talking about the United States of America? Or are we talking about some third world country that you may see advertised when they're asking for money for hungry and thirsty children in said third world country? No, this is in my home state of Michigan. This is ridiculous. On this program on telly I was watching, you could see the water coming out, and it was a grungy, greenish brown. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that it smelled horrible, it looked horrible, and more importantly, it tasted horrible. Because why? It was horrible, full of contaminants that could actually, if you had lead pipes or if you had copper pipes with lead weldings, this could actually over time, in a short period of time, begin to break down these metals and allow more of the contaminants in your body. And was this an expensive problem to fix? No. It was said that $100 a day, $100 a day could have fixed this problem, could have given people fresh, clean drinking water. Why? Why did they do this? Why was a whole community switched from pure, fresh drinking water to this sludge? To save $5 million a year. So that's what people's lives are worth, $5 million. And who are these people? Again, this is not my saying, this is what came direct from the program. They were low income, impoverished black people, and a few impoverished whites, but mostly blacks. Now, Grosse Pointe in Michigan is a very affluent neighborhood. It would be more like Bel Air or Beverly Hills here in California. Or you think of where you may be viewing this show from, what your most affluent neck of the woods might be. Ask yourself the question, would the people or this government appointed non-elected official, would he have switched the water from Grosse Pointe, Michigan to the Flint River? Most certainly not, because those rich folks would be barking and screaming. But he chose to do it to the most impoverished people, children, elderly, handicapped, and regular, general, run-of-the-mill citizens. Doesn't care. Greed is the degradation of this nation, a major one. Stupidity is the other. Like I said, lethal combination, greed and stupidity. Yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on this one for you. I think the exec has come up with some other information, but before I let him jump in here, just think about it. We elect these idiots to office, and what do they do to us? They screw us on every opportunity they get because they don't care. They're in it for money. They're in it for whatever prestigious aspect they can get out of it. And they do not care what happens to us. They don't care. It's more than evident with every turn they make, with every activity they do, with every stroke of the pen or what have you. They don't care about American people. So we'd better be damned careful of who we elect to office. And even as careful as we may be, we still may get shafted. But this is ridiculous. Looking at that, I could have sworn I was looking at a third world country, and how devastating it was to know that I was looking at the fifth largest, well, no, Detroit's the fifth largest city, but Michigan's pretty big. This big place that made cars, that made music, that made so much in the way of industry. Number one, Detroit is bankrupt. Now Flint, the people are drinking filthy water. Michigan has slipped down the tubes as a state that made wonderful things for Americans to enjoy, to be proud of. And now they can't even get decent water to drink. Let me just turn it over to the exec.
The one thing that really struck in my mind as that broadcast that we both watched went on was one of the first things they said after it happened is that the government of that state said, it's fine, don't worry about it, drink it, it won't hurt you. That's really terrible. And because of that $100 fix they refused to do or couldn't do, the mayor now says that it could cost as much as $1.5 billion to fix the city's damaged water distribution system. And now they actually, after they found all that out, and after it went on, as long as it did, I think there was some person that emailed them on 2 different occasions, and they said he was taken care of, he's not going to bother us anymore, we're not going to hear from him anymore. And then finally the other state took over, Virginia Tech. Now after that they finally tell them to not drink tap water without using a filter to strain out lead. The best they can say is we're taking this extremely seriously. But if that's the case, then why are churches and the officials of churches the ones doing things to help them out? I saw another article that says that the different churches and other organizations have been left to fill the gap. The local sheriff has begun distributing filters on his own, not with anyone else's money, but his own. Discovered 2 out of 3 homes visited did not yet have them. So 2/3 didn't have filters, and now they're trying to do the best they can to distribute filters to people and give them cans of water. 50,000 cans is going to be distributed to Flint next week from a brewery in North Carolina. They're getting help from everybody but the government, who ignored it just to for their own purpose and selfish needs and purposes. And it's a shame, like you said, that something, a big country as rich as we are, is going through this kind of situation and making it look like a third world country and having its people treated so badly. And that's about it right there.
This is true, you know, and as you alluded to earlier, this governor, he knew, and they found out that he knew. What irks me about all of this crap is that they continue to let these crooks, these creeps, these criminals, these uncaring bastards stay in office instead of getting rid of them. Case in point, with that Rahm Emanuel in Chicago, the mayor there. When they found out that this bastard knew about that kid getting shot 16 times and he sat on it, he should have been gone. Why he's still there, I will never know. Get rid of him. Whoever the deputy mayor is, you're now the mayor, Emanuel, you pack your bags, you're out. This bastard over in Michigan, he's the governor there. When they found out he knew about this non-elected official switching that water system, all right, you're gone. Deputy governor, you're the governor, you pack your bags, you get out. Oh, bastard, the first time he went against the Constitution and did something out on his own, you're gone. Joe Biden, you're now the president. Oh, bastard, get out. And who was that? The Speaker of the House, the one that just left, Boehner. Okay, Boehner, you're now the vice president. Get rid of these bastards. They sit up there and let them continue to make these major faux pas that actually kill people or injure them, or they, put the whole country in jeopardy, and they let them stay there. The allegiance in this country to crooks is beyond me. Now they're ready to put another one in the White House, knowing that she is a criminal, a crook, in one Slithery Clinton. Even down to stealing approximately $200,000 worth of artifacts and what have you from the White House. They had to tell her thieving ass to bring them back. Yet they got an allegiance to her. She is a crook. She is so crooked she can't even smile straight. It's infuriating. When will America wake up and realize that just because they say they're politicians, just because they say they may care about you, their actions prove otherwise? And when we find that out and begin to understand it firmly in our hearts and minds, that we need to stand up and think and act for ourselves and not take everything these bastards say to you at face value, then maybe we can become Americans again and not drinkers of Kool-Aid and certainly not sheeple. And on that score, we'll end it here. And thank you for joining us for the Phil Taylor Jones Show.